welcome to Bob's Bits.
Hello there, as introduced by the lovely Gareth. Today, another video produced by Bob's Bits. And for those of you apart from the rough, you're at the wrong video. Anyway, moving on to solar panels. DIY solar panels. Right, we've had a few takes of this, so I'm going to try and get it right this time. Tabbing these beautiful little solar wafers. Basically go and do your own research, which you should do before you manufacture these things. The exciting side here, the sunny side, is negative, this side's positive. You have to tab these things. This particular version is untabbed. You'll find mountains of videos saying, use this soldering iron, use this soldering iron, no, this way's best, no, this way's best. Do what's comfortable for yourself. Take 10 and realise you're going to screw those 10 up. But make some concise notes as to what went wrong with each one, so you can learn from those 10, so the 10 doesn't progress to 20. Two particular tips. I did find brown soldering paste particularly useful at cleaning the soldering iron tip very regularly indeed. The tabbing wire. Tie one end to a tree at the bottom of the garden and then get a pen and roll it over it nice and tight. This way it stretches it out, so you get 10% more for your money, and it also takes out all the little undulations in the wire, which makes tabbing very much easier. Then cut them to a fixed length and rock and roll, continue soldering. Or soldering, as the Americans keep saying. Don't know why, the word is solder. We created the language, there's an L in there. Nevertheless, moving on. Negative, positive. You're going to wire them in series, so you're going to get a long strip across here. Now, the tabbing wires go this way, the bussing wires go this way, as you'll have all established. They're wired in series. Before you set them down through whatever mechanism you choose to use, I'm going to show you my favourite method today. Make sure you have one strip going this way and the other this way. Otherwise you'll end up with a positive here and a positive here, or indeed a negative negative, and then you can't obviously wire them in series. Anyway, right. My idea about encapsulating them, which is what I essentially want to talk about today, is using these UPVC strips. Very cheap. These particular ones came out of a skip. Get a table saw, cut them into nice particular strips. They're obviously designed to be exposed to the sun, so they're going to last ages. The beauty of doing this is, essentially what you're going to do is a fine strip of mastic down there and stick it to the glass panel. Obviously clean the glass panel first, and then another one essentially across there. Now this obviously is the tabbed strip across here. Stick them down with very little on here, because you don't want the mastic coming out along the sides to then go underneath the wafer and obstruct the sun coming from obviously that side there. 1mm gap each side, that way you're supporting, 1mm buffering space each side, a nice strip along there and a nice strip along there, and wipe it cleanly. In this particular way, you've got the buffering spaces I've already laboured excessively anyway, and now you're supporting them each on either end. Loads of other videos had big dabs of bloody mastic here and there. You push them in the middle, they're only going to break. As you'll discover when you learn to tab them, they're very fragile indeed. So basically we're going to use these strips to provide supports. As just has been pointed out, what we're going to do is put another strip across there. This way, when you put your finishing piece of glass on the back, like that, the wafers are already manufactured on this frontal piece of glass. Everything's supported nicely, you've got a buffering piece of 1mm gap down the edge, and the final set of glass just goes on, bit of mastic on top of these strips here, and it goes down. Lovely. Okay, little note on mastics, right, there are three types. Acrylic, forget them, we won't talk about them. The main two types which you can use. First of all, you've got acetoxy. People don't tend to favour that for the manufacturers of DIY solar panels, because when it dries it releases acetic acid, which can be corrosive to the panels, to the wafers at least. You want neutral curing. Takes longer to set, but it's the rock and roll, not a problem. And then you've got high modulus and low modulus. High modulus is inflexible, low modulus highly flexible. So you want highly flexible, which is the low modulus, and neutral curing. You can obtain them cheap. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to advertise anyone. Am I allowed to advertise?
I think so, mate. It's your video. You can do what you like.
Okay, Tool Station, rock and roll. Orders over £10, free delivery. Okay, so basically now you've got it all soldered up, lovely. You've got it all masticed beautifully. You're then going to put your finishing piece of glass on. Now here comes the piece de resistance. You've got sharp edges in this piece of glass, because obviously the whole idea is doing this on the cheap. This is aluminium foil bitumen flashing tape. Don't have lead anymore, lead's not about, it's too expensive, people nick it off church roofs. So basically, you've got this aluminium flashing tape. On the edge, fold it round like that. What a lovely, waterproof, cheap, durable finish. Take some care in doing it, because obviously you don't want to flap it around too much and obstruct the sun. Obviously, before doing that, you're just going to get your mastic, your finishing sealing mastic, and run a strip all the way around there. If you look at this particular beautiful example here, you'll see I should actually have a strip inside the glass there to make it look neater. I didn't do that in this particular case because I was rushing. Nevertheless, as you can see the strips down the middle, before you put the flashing tape on the outside, mastic put between the two glass panels, and then sealing tape over the edge like that, as indeed we have on those edges there. Neat, waterproof, cheap, protection from the sun. Anyway, I hope that's basically useful to you. So, that was another video from Bob's Bits. Have a good day. Rock and roll.